where automation meets empathy. It's a title that makes you think, right? We're diving into this idea that seems like a total paradox. Can a machine, an AI, actually make our classrooms more human? We're going to unpack this really surprising connection and see how technology might just be reshaping the very soul of modern education. So let me ask you something. When you hear that phrase, AI in education, what pops into your head? Like, what's the first image you see? Because for a lot of people, well, I'm willing to bet it's something kind of cold. Yep, robotic proctoring, cold automation. You probably think of surveillance, right? Impersonal algorithms just stripping the human touch out of learning. It's a really common and, let's be honest, kind of dystopian vision. And all that stuff, it really boils down to one big fear. Is AI here to replace teachers? I mean, that's the elephant in the room, isn't it? Is the whole point of this to swap out our amazing human educators for a bunch of algorithms? Well, in this explainer, we're going to argue that the answer isn't just no. It's that we've been asking the wrong question from the very start. Okay, so for our first section, let's just tackle this idea head on. This whole perception of AI as some kind of robotic overlord in the classroom. The thing is, yeah, surveillance AI is out there. But the real breakthroughs, the stuff that's actually changing the game, it's not about watching students. It's all about supporting teachers. And to really get why that support is so critical, we have to look at a very real crisis that's already happening in our schools. And that brings us right to section 2, teaching's quiet crisis. See, this isn't really about some futuristic tech promise. It's about the incredible, almost impossible pressure we're putting on our educators right now. I mean, just think for a second about everything we ask a teacher to be today. They're not just an instructor. Nope. They're also a curriculum designer, a mental health supporter for their kids, a tech troubleshooter, and on top of all that, an overworked grader. When one person has to wear that many hats, something's got to give. And it is. It's been called a quiet crisis. We hear a lot about student stress, and that's important. But teacher burnout, that's this huge systemic problem that's threatening the health of the entire education system. So what's driving? It's often the little things. It's that mountain of manual, repetitive tasks, especially grading handwritten work. That stuff just eats up hours and hours of time that could be spent actually connecting with students, mentoring them, inspiring them. And that is the exact problem that AI is perfectly built to tackle. Okay, so this brings us to the real heart of it all, where automation meets empathy. It's all about using technology to give back the single most valuable thing in any classroom, a teacher's time. Just look at the difference here. The old way, a teacher spends hours, maybe even days, hunched over a stack of handwritten papers, grading them one by one. The new way, that same stack of papers gets reviewed in minutes with AI helping out. The change in how a teacher can spend their time is, well, it's massive. So how does it actually work? It's surprisingly simple, really. Step 1, a teacher uploads the scripts. Step 2, the AI scans them, grades them based on the teacher's own rules, and even flags any issues. And then step 3, the most important one, the teacher inspires. With all that time back, they get to do the one thing a machine can't, inspire their students. This quote just nails it. They automate the predictable, so teachers can focus on the unpredictable. Think about that. The idea is to let the machines handle all the boring, repetitive stuff so that teachers are free to deal with the messy, beautiful, unpredictable parts of being human. The sudden questions, the emotional moments, and those amazing aha moments of discovery. But, it's about so much more than just saving time. This tech can also open the door to a much deeper, more personalized way of teaching. It's about bringing empathy, but now it's scale. So by looking at how a student does across a bunch of assignments, the AI can spot patterns that would be almost impossible for a human to see. So instead of just getting a grade, a teacher can see a student's real strengths, where they're struggling, and even their learning habits over time. This isn't just data. It's a roadmap for how to actually help that kid. And this brings us to this really cool idea: empathy at scale. So what is that? It's basically using smart automation not to replace human care,
but to make it possible on a much bigger, more personal level. It's about being able to provide individualized attention in a way one person just physically can't do alone. It's about really seeing every single student.
And that's really the end goal, right? When you lift all that admin work off a teacher's shoulders and give them clearer insights, the result is pretty simple. They just have more time and energy to do the human stuff, to mentor more, to listen more, and to support their students in a way that truly matters. Okay, let's pull all this together for our final section. The real goal here isn't just automation for the sake of being efficient. It's something much bigger. It's about the humanization of the classroom. Because when you look at it this way, it completely reframes the whole point of this technology. It's not about replacing teachers. It's about respecting them, respecting their time, respecting their expertise, and respecting that incredible, irreplaceable human ability they have to connect with and inspire kids. And the impact of this could be huge. We're talking about reducing burnout, making grading more accurate and fair. All of that's great. But the big idea, the ultimate goal, is to build a system that truly honors both the student and the teacher. I think it's so important to remember this. In a world that is just obsessed with efficiency and metrics, the real point of education has always been about one thing: human connection. And the best technology gets that. It works in service of that goal, not against it. And that leads us to this final big concept: the humanization of education. It's about totally rethinking technology's role. It's not some intruder in the classroom. It's a tool that's specifically designed to bring time, care, and connection back into the heart of learning. And that leaves us with a pretty powerful thought. What we're really talking about here, this is not the automation of education. It's the humanization of it. It's about using technology to put the human being right back in the center of the classroom, where they belong. So that leaves us with a really important question to think about, right? As these tools become more and more a part of our lives, how do we make sure that we're using them to build classrooms that are not just smarter, but are also kinder?